Alright, everybody's excited?
Oh!
Why do you feel the need to start every podcast with, oh!
So you know when...
So we know, yeah, we're blowing the fuck
blow it
out.
out.
Okay.
That's just...
Checking the time. Alright. We're good.
That's like how we introduced ourselves in Skype calls and Discord
Oh!
for years. When you get it, oh, it's your boy.
Speaking of introducing ourselves, welcome to Mind Mode. This is the third episode, and it's the second episode where we're going to tell you what our names are and who we are, so you can distinguish between us.
We didn't say that the first episode?
We did on the first one.
We didn't say it on the second
We didn't
one.
last time. I don't think we said who we were at all.
Alright.
Okay, so for listeners, I just want to let you know, I know early going on podcasts, often it's difficult. I found that there's podcasts I've listened to where I didn't know how many hosts there were. So I just want to be clear, there's 3 of us.
3.
Yes.
My name's Matthew, along with
Stanlin.
and
Michael.
And we're in Mind Mode.
We're in Mind Mode.
Hopefully you will be too soon.
Sorry, viewers, we were too deep in our minds last time to even report our
couldn't,
human names.
We couldn't differentiate between the 3 of us because we were like a hive mind.
Yeah.
We reached utter, complete gestalt. We were one being, just distributed like, God.
Yeah.
Between 3 people.
Our consciousness had blended.
Total human instrumentality.
I've been getting a lot of emails.
From Zara, Walmart, Target.
Ooh.
I forgot to take myself off the subscription service.
A lot of sponsorships coming our way on the our email address, mindmode@gmail.com.
Did you register that?
Which we haven't
God.
set up.
Oh, okay.
That might not
But if you want to go ahead and send those emails now, they'll get lost in the cyberspace.
You can also send
What happens if you send an email before
It'll bounce.
Yeah, it'll just invalid address.
But if you can also send an email to my personal account, skunk.com.
Oh my.
So go ahead and send one to me if you feel the need.
A lot of emails have been asking, how do you spell Mind Mode?
What?
First off, how did you get to...
How did you
What?
get an email without an email address?
I shouldn't say email. I should say messages. I've got an
What the fuck are you saying, Michael? I've got a lot of messages. I've been receiving ESP
transmissions.
Yeah, a
a
lot of people have been astrally projecting into my room to ask me how I spell the name of the podcast so they can listen to it. First of all, don't bother. You're already there. You don't need to listen to this. You're in Mind Mode.
You're in Mind Mode.
Yeah.
But to clarify it for our viewers out there, it's MENND. So thanks for tuning in.
That's how you spell it.
Keep sending the messages in.
And that's the end of our episode.
Okay.
Alright, what do we got?
So today we've got a few things on the plate, on the platter, the mind platter, much like John the Baptist's head served up on a plate.
Yeah. Who else's head? Someone else's head has been served.
Was Jay the Bee's head?
King Louis the 14th.
King Louis the orangutan from Jungle Book.
Jungle Book. He was served up on a plate. Oh,
SpongeBob. You're about
Indiana-
to say SpongeBob.
Indiana Jones. When
That's the guy's heart.
the monkeys' heads.
They ate monkey brains.
Yeah, but they were served on a plate.
You think that
Actually,
was a
they were
Jungle-
served like ice cream. God, I'm thinking of that scene.
You think
and
that was
it's
a Jungle Book
actually
connection?
really gross. They go to the jungle.
I feel like eye contact is going to make this podcast. Oh, did I mention we're on the same room, which you can probably tell by the lack of sound baffling. Did I say this already? On this recording?
I'm baffled by what sound baffling
Oh my
means.
god. we should have taped pillows to my wall to make it sound less.
Yeah, we should have taped
We
pillows.
definitely should have done
Echoey.
that. Less echoey.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
This is preparing us for when we do live podcasts with big
podcast
audience.
in a cave.
Yeah, so
A cave podcast.
Cave cast.
I don't want to, get anyone too riled up yet, but I'm just gonna say you might want to start a Google alert watch for Mind Mode Madison Square Gardens. Just get that set up now, and you'll probably, you'll see what you see in a matter of time. That's all I'll say.
If you've ever been to a concert hall, book your tickets now. Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
That's where we will be playing.
I don't want to make any promises.
Yeah.
I'm promising you, we will play Carnegie Hall.
So, here's a segment that I've been thinking on for a bit, and I think it's time to introduce it. Everyone knows, the brain, it don't run on nothing. And the mind, likewise. You need fuel to power the machine. You need brain food. So we're going to do our first segment, our first instance of the segment, brain food.
Oh!
Now, Michael, tell me what you're looking at. Stanley, describe what you're looking at
It
here.
says wrap snacks.
Uh-huh.
I think that's Migos.
It's Migos.
Sour cream with a dab of ranch nachos. Does it say nachos? What does it say?
Does not
It
say...
just says Migos. It
doesn't
says
say nachos.
flavored potato chips.
So, we're gonna probably edit this part out, the
No,
eating part, but we're gonna try these snacks out, if that's okay with you guys.
We want to... Yeah. We'll try these snacks.
Alright, so we're gonna give them a taste.
Where did you get these?
So...
My sister bought these for me.
okay.
What do you guys think about the wrap snacks?
They were good.
Let's talk about the flavor first.
That's one of the most important
Migos
things.
flavored.
Uh-huh.
The back of the bag, or the front of the bag, says Migos flavored potato chips.
Right.
So...
Wait, does it say Migos? It says sour cream.
It says Migos
No, the flavor is sour cream.
flavored potato chips.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Migos flavored potato
No, those
chips.
are those are
So, I don't know.
Whatever.
Mine kind of tasted like jewelry.
It says sour cream with ranch.
Uh-huh.
That's the flavor.
Hold on. Stanley's missing a key detail.
Yeah. They're
Sour
Migos
cream with a
flavored.
dab of ranch.
Yeah, well, he said it.
Yeah, with a dab of ranch.
So...
But I think that's a really good description for the chips because you could really taste the ranch.
Yeah.
Like it, I don't know.
It's not just... They basically taste like sour cream Lay's, but
There's some
ranch-
like hint of like
I'd say there's a dab of ranch.
yeah. There's a
If I had to, yeah.
I can't...
What's the word I'm looking for? There's something like a dab of ranch.
Presentation.
Presentation, 10 out of 10.
yeah
10 out
it
of
looks
10.
good.
We got
We have...
Quavo, we got Offset, we got Takeoff.
We've got the
All
Migos
are
on
on
the
there.
front. I read the fine print on the back of the bag. If you find the potato chip that looks like Quavo, call in for a spot on the Migos tour bus. They're looking for
Wait, say it again.
another Migo. A Migo.
If you find
the Quavo shaped potato chip. It's
what
a
is
potato
a Quavo?
chip. Quavo is one of the Migos.
Oh, I don't know any of their names except Offset.
So the back of the
But
bag it
yeah.
says dabbing is a lifestyle. So what do we rate in the wrap snacks on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 out of 10.
I'd say,
Those are great.
I would say brain out of... Michael, you gotta stop crinkling that fucking
I
bag.
would-
What? I'd say I give it a thoughtful 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? What's a 10 out of 10? In terms of
those
potato
chips,
chips.
those chips were a 10 out of 10 for me. I'd eat them.
Y'all are
They were
making me...
soft.
Hey,
They were like
10 out of 10
Tasty.
means I'd eat them.
they were.
10 out of 10, I'd eat them.
I mean, I don't eat that much stuff.
Stanley,
I
I'm
only eat
gonna
the
have
best of the best.
you don't eat that much stuff you're eating all the time.
Yeah, but I only eat the best.
Okay. So Stanley has a personal chef
Yeah,
that lives with him
it's me.
while he's taking his grad school classes. I rate the Migos chips
While he's teaching his grad school classes.
probably an 8 out of 10. I'm not a big potato chip eater.
Don't
What's
lie
your
to
Trying
what's
to
your
thi-
chip of choice?
My girlfriend has introduced me to a type of lay called biscuits and
dressed-
gravy
Oh.
lays, which are incredible. Tastes just like biscuits and gravy. I like Zaps. I think Zaps are 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I like the Zaps. the voodoo.
Voodoo Zaps.
Yeah,
Is
those
that
are
Zaps?
good. Yeah.
Are those Zaps? Those are really
Oh
good.
no,
I ate a whole bag
I thought
of
those
those.
were Miss Vicky's.
Uh,
That's
I think they're
salt
Zaps.
and vinegar.
I like a sea salt and vinegar chip, but it does ruin my mouth for like a day and a half.
Yeah, that's why I like these chips because there was no like sharp thing. Like usually
Yeah,
with
usually-
chips, they're oversalted. They have like that really vinegary taste.
Mm.
These
You mean if you're eating salt and vinegar chips? they
no,
do?
even like regular Lay's, they're like way too salty.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like,
So you don't think these chips they don't pack a punch?
Yeah, they're like
They don't
they're
pack
like
a punch.
soft.
So
They're
what,
like- I don't know.
do you think the Migos would think? They heard you say
The
that.
Migos are like the chillest like rappers. Are they considered rappers?
what?
The Migos.
Are Migos considered rappers?
Yeah,
Why would they name their food
Rap snacks.
if they weren't rappers?
Rappers, trappers.
What would you consider
Whatever.
them?
I don't know. I don't know if there's another
I'd
word.
consider them buddies, friends, amigos.
But they're
And this concludes
these
the snacks
chips
that we're done talking about
match
this.
the Migos
Let's.
style.
So do you? So the rap snacks, they pack a punch. Do you think?
No,
pack,
they don't.
They don't pack a punch.
Right.
So unlike
Michael's
the Migos-
reconfiguring this joke.
the
right
Migos
now.
hard verses,
Not gonna work out.
rap snacks don't pack a punch.
I don't know.
Hard.
I don't think the Migos really have hard verses. It's like right.
I'm
Please,
bad at
God,
music.
let us end this fucking segment. Why did I bring chips for us to eat?
My final comment about the rap snacks:
Oh God.
bad and
Can I
bougie.
say one more thing about the Joker?
Bad and bougie.
So your last comment is that they're bad.
But bad in a good way.
All right, so that's a
Oh.
1 out of 10 from Michael.
My
It said
God.
10 out of 10 from the other two of us.
For
so
our viewers, everyone
Yeah.
watching tonight,
Michael
or today.
loves this fucking viewer's joke.
It's not a joke. We're eventually gonna have video.
That's true.
Um,
I've been recording this the whole time.
Yeah, me too. So, what else is on our? What else is on the mind, boys?
All right, are we doing another? All right, it's time for a rant. Stalin's got one.
No,
He's
I
pissed.
don't.
Stanlin said, "I'm
I literally said
I'm all fired up
I'm
and ready
never
to go."
going to have a rant.
So here's what we're gonna do.
A
This
rant?
is sort of
Here's my rant about rants.
yeah, we're having
Here
a
we
meta
go.
section.
Little.
So if you think you're in mind mode now, go one step deeper because we're
I just.
If you're on the subconscious level, now you're on the unconscious.
It's just a
level.
weird thing for me to like have a segment where we literally have to create an emotion. that it's
Create an
like,
What are
emotion.
you talking about? Create.
like
I don't have to create.
if I
anything.
don't have anything to rant about, I'm not.
So we're in a bit of a different situation today. We're gathered around the campfire, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say so to speak,
Hot.
I mean it's hot in here. I
Did we
turned
end
the fan
rant
off.
section?
Huh?
Did we end the rant segment? Okay.
Do you want to rant about that?
I don't.
Stanley's about to go off.
Oh my god.
He's at the end of his rope.
Stanlin's furious right now. This is a very different podcast experience when I'm in the room with you guys. I didn't know Stanlin was going to get all worked up.
Stanley sweats. He's steaming over here.
He ate too many rap snacks.
Yeah, I
So
think
good.
he's really embodying the rap snacks.
I don't know what movies y'all have seen this week.
Okay,
but
okay, we're gonna get into the real nitty gritty here.
Not
I
yet.
think-
We're
no,
talking.
Michael, let's just do it.
We're talking about a movie none of us have seen yet. This should be an
If
R.
you say Incredibles 2, I'm going to smother you with a pillow. This might be a short one today, but the brain juices are low.
God.
Boy.
We're not able to summon. Look, even the experts have days where we can't
The
completely
experts.
get into mind mode.
We are.
Okay.
So
The
here
experts that we
Michael has a topic he's wanted to talk about. I think this came up maybe last week when we rewatched. We went to the theater to see 2001: A Space Odyssey in 70mm.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away, Mike.
So Matthew and I saw 2001: Space Odyssey.
In
That
70mm.
is
In 70
so
millimeter.
awesome.
We were seated. No snacks were bought. I bought my ticket online.
I bought my ticket on the internet.
The internet. So, seeing that movie, it was so long before I'd actually seen the 2001 originally.
Since.
I think I saw that movie.
I'm going to edit that back.
Since it'd been so long since I saw 2001. I think I saw it the summer after my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
I saw it during the day, just watched it on a computer randomly.
I hadn't seen it since like high school.
Oh my god, you watched it on a computer?
That
feels
on
like
a computer.
Horrible.
That's how I watched it. It was on Netflix.
Oh my
Let's
god.
just say...
I think it was one of the first movies I saw on Netflix streaming.
Let's just say it was not the most optimal, not the optimal viewing situation.
That whole movie
experience.
is like a painting. It's like, I don't know. That's weird.
It's meant to be seen on the big screen for sure.
Yes.
And the big speakers, because there were parts of that movie that were blasting my ears off.
Oh yeah, a lot of ringing. Hey, silence your cell phones. We're gonna...
We're gonna play our own little ringtone. It's called 50 Hertz Screech.
So seeing this movie, going in, I didn't even really want to recount I didn't even really think about the movie when I went in. I didn't recount the events of what was going to take place. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't read anything up about it. So when I went and saw this movie, seeing it in theaters, it was essentially like seeing the movie for the first time.
Which is interesting.
And when it came out. Because you got to go to a theater to watch it.
So yeah, I got to see it in the setting where it was meant to be presented.
Right.
So it was just incredible. It's mind-blowing experience. I was in mind mode the entire... How long is that movie? 2 hours,
like
30
2 hours
minutes?
I think it's a little less than that, somewhere around there.
But
I think what you wanted to talk about was that I had a little bit of a different reaction, because even though I guess it's been longer since I'd seen it, but for some reason, every part of that movie pretty much stuck in my brain, between having seen it and just I don't know, read so much analysis of the movie and just scene by scene, just I don't know, something for some reason that stuck. I pretty much remembered every single portion of the movie, with maybe a couple scenes I wasn't sure what the order was, but I all the images were pretty familiar to me.
And I just want to delve into that a little more because Matthew said, "Yeah, I wish I hadn't not in so many words I
wish I could." When we were leaving the theater, I said I wish I could forget that movie and watch it again, basically.
Yeah, so you could essentially repeat your first viewing of the movie.
Because it was kind of difficult for me to have, I guess, emotional responses or something to the movie, because so much of it felt like it was just replaying out what I already remembered.
Yeah, because it's already in your imagination.
And I couldn't interpret it a different way because I'd read so much analysis and stuff of the movie that it was just instead of seeing the movie and responding in my brain, I was just thinking oh yeah, this is the apes are seeing the monolith. They're reaching the next stage of evolution. It was just someone was whispering in my head what I'd already read about the movie.
So the mystery had kind of evaporated.
Yeah, to some extent.
So for me, it was I barely read anything about 2001. I think I read a few articles because the first time I saw it, it didn't have that much of an impact on me, and I think that had a lot to do with, I don't know, I think I just watched it in the wrong setting. I think I just watched it at the wrong time. This time I watched it, it was an incredible experience. But what I mainly wanted to talk about
is the intermission. Bring back the intermission. Put them in every movie. It was so nice. We're halfway into a 2 hour and 30-minute movie to just have the screen turn off. You can relax. go to the bathroom, get more snacks.
Yeah, that's nice.
Stretch, talk to your friends, get on your phone, read a book, play your Game Boy, complete Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in an emulator on your Nintendo DS in a flash cart. You could
any movie that's maybe over 2 hours and 20 minutes, I wouldn't mind having an intermission.
You could watch a short film on your phone. You could upload a vlog of your.
You could record a podcast with your friends.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to
You
make...
could get a filling done if your dentist was in the theater and they brought all their equipment.
What I wanted to say is when you watch...
write down...
Do movies have to have... Or would movies have to anticipate that? Like, 2001 probably anticipated, here's a moment of intermission.
I think they just always had intermissions back then.
But then
I could be wrong.
But okay, so
I see what you're saying.
So at the intermission, were you like, okay, like that was a good stopping point?
So the intermission was. Where was? Do you remember exactly which scenes it was between?
It was in
like
between
first
Hal and when they touched.
They did the spacewalk.
When the astronauts touched the monolith.
It was later than that. It was after. I think it was. Okay, here's where it was.
You're right.
They had gone on the first spacewalk to replace the thing on the antenna or whatever. Came back, they had the talk about how Hal was gonna...
Spoiler alerts, by the way.
Yeah. I mean... So, it's a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah. I've had a lot of stuff spoiled for me on podcasts. So.
Anyway, it was I feel like it was at a good spot because... The sort of climactic action was right after the intermission. Started right after.
Right before things started going really crazy with Hal.
Yeah,
but what? Okay,
it was like a commercial break at a good point in a TV show or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
so imagine you have an intermission for the Avengers. Wasn't that movie over 2 hours? It was
probably.
It was a really long movie, I think. I don't know. I feel like...
What do you think that it'd be hard?
I just don't know if... I mean, I haven't seen it.
If there's a good point to
if
put an intermission in a movie?
Or if, I mean, I guess you can do it whenever, but,
I was... By the way, for the listeners, I was joking when I said we were going to talk about intermissions for this segment, but...
When did you say that?
Huh?
You said that?
Yeah, Michael was like, but what we really wanted to talk about, then I cut him off and said intermissions, and we've been talking about it for 5 minutes.
I mean, it is interesting that we have stopped doing them.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't know why they went away.
That means...
I don't want to sit... Even a movie I really like, 2.5 hours...
If it's over 2 hours...
Like, Lord of the Rings didn't have any intermission.
There needs to be an intermission.
Which is, insane, because that movie is, over 3 hours.
It's not even just... Yeah, I can't watch a 3-hour movie in one sitting. 2 hours in, I have to get up, walk around, use the restroom. I always pause at a horrible part when there's, I don't know, it might be in the middle of action. I feel like the movie should just do that for you.
It should anticipate when is a good point for people to okay, we can stop here and
we should bring those back. Bring back intermissions.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a movie theater and put intermissions in every movie. And I'm gonna make an app and it's gonna be disruptive.
Also, the intermission in this kind of, I don't know, was clever in a sense because it just showed a black screen and had ominous music, and I don't know if it was the same music as. I don't know if that was the intent.
They always did? I don't know.
I think in some intermissions, it would say intermission. The only other movie...
It said intermission.
Yeah, but it went to black.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was supposed to be the model.
Was that part of...
something like that.
Was that part of...
I think it was the same music that was playing.
Was that the film itself did the intermission like that, or... Okay.
I mean, it was in the film reel.
Okay.
Oh,
it fades to black and says intermission.
Also, the beginning of the movie, Matthew and I didn't know this. I don't know if you were kidding or not. I didn't know. The movie was just black. Or, the film, the screen was just black for maybe 3 minutes.
Was it just music
and
playing?
Just playing this ominous music.
I feel like that was some kind of affordance for the way movie theaters worked in the 60s. I don't know.
But also I think that... Maybe. But also,
Yeah.
it was just it fit in the movie too.
Yeah, it did. Because it's like,
and it was just bizarre because we were like, is there something wrong with the projector?
yeah.
We were actually like, we were about, should we go get the staff?
It was like, at first it was a joke, and then it was another
going
minute
on.
and a half later, we're like, okay, do we need to actually go ask if they're like... Because I couldn't remember if the movie started with... We thought it was like playing the score, and we just weren't seeing the image.
Right.
Because,
I couldn't remember how the movie started.
With the apes, so
Yeah.
there was not going to be any dialogue or anything, but I couldn't remember.
But then I don't know what this... Yeah, I don't know what the typical the piece is yeah, but then that music came on and we knew that the movie had started. I guess let's just keep talking about 2001 before I make that main point, because we've already gotten away from it.
I want to say, I think the part of the movie that did actually, I feel like, have more of an effect on me this time than the first time I saw it, for sure, was the prehistory ape segment.
Really?
I really liked that this time.
I thought it was really cool.
I remember the first time I watched the movie just being like, why is this going on for so long? Why are there so many shots of just apes walking around, hanging out in a cave? And this time I was like, no, I'm down for this. More apes. This could have been the whole movie.
Yeah, I remember like that section a lot when I watched it.
The buildup of them like touching the monolith and like picking up the bone.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like that was communicated
Really good.
so much better in the movie theater.
You think so?
Yeah, because
It's
yeah,
bigger.
I don't
It
know.
looks big.
My ADD, like 18 or 19-year-old brain was like, "Oh, it's a stupid monkey picking up a bone." What is this movie?
Yeah. And maybe
I don't know.
I think I also want to say maybe contrary to what I said about how I wish I could erase my memory of the movie or like not have read any of the criticism and watch it.
Yeah.
I think that segment was improved by me knowing where it was going and what was going to come next.
Yeah, I'd say for me too.
Because...
But I almost forgot. Like, my memory of it was like, monkey picks up a bone.
Yeah, I was like, monkey see rock.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's going to pick up the bone and throw it up in the air.
Yeah.
And then it's going to cut to the spaceship. I remember that. But then I was like, oh, there's like 10 minutes of this before that happens. And lots of other stuff happens.
I just think there was just so much more with that segment that came with the sound and the picture.
Yeah.
Because that was...
Which is...
communicated so much better visually.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
Sound and picture, that's a movie, baby.
Who? Was it you or someone else who said, like, man, we should have just stayed as apes? Much more peaceful time.
Yeah, I said
and I was
that.
like, one of them got, like, eaten by a cheetah.
Well,
And they were, like, hiding they were hiding in a
that.
cave. Like,
This is my argument.
So peaceful.
They just hung out in a cave. They were doing fine.
Wait, do you want ape or like human in cave?
I
Human
want
or
what
ape?
we saw in the film.
The ape.
They're just hanging out,
Yeah.
walking around, going to the watering hole, hanging out in a cave. Did things get better in the space section for everybody?
But that's the ideal ape situation.
Oh, the other part that hit me harder this time, it was the like... I didn't remember this. The shots when they're like on the moon base and they see the monolith and they're like going down into the dig site and it's like a handheld camera like walking down the ramp behind everybody was super creepy and like really good. And I just remember the like static shot
I don't remember that.
from the top of the ramp looking down at the monolith. I didn't remember the like fucking like found footage shot. Really like creepy, eerie stuff.
we were both... do you want to talk more about that?
No, that's it. That's all I had.
We were both really impressed with... when the ape throws the bone up in the air, there's a transition, and it's the doctor. I already forget his name. The doctor, and there's a pen floating on this airplane-like spacecraft, and it was just none of it looked fake. Like none of the effects looked bad.
You'll find that there's a mistake. The pin is not rotating on its center of gravity.
I'm not joking. This is a real thing. See, this is why I've read too much about the movie. So when I was seeing the pin in the spaceship, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not rotating on its center of gravity. This is not realistic."
But would
Kubrick have known that because he made that movie before we went into space?
We had been to space.
I think it was immediately after.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most mind-blowing aspect of this movie is that it's 50 years old.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
Aged incredibly.
They have flat screen TVs in that movie, right?
It's just like iPads.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know.
It's insane.
The production design on the movie.
Like I get why people have these like conspiracy theories about Kubrick because it's just like
but just insane. All the shots in space, like there's some low budget like science fiction films that anytime they go to space, it looks bad.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It just looks incredible. And I know it's a model, like flying with a...
Yeah.
I haven't read too much about how the visuals were done, but with a backdrop of planets. But like just the way the shadows were constructed on the planets and how that was similar with like how the shadows were falling on the spacecraft after actually flying. And they didn't try to do
silence in space and everything.
The minimalist approach to it made it, I don't know, it was like more realistic to me in a sense because I was like, this is probably how it would look. Like it would just be a stationary planet and just if you were in a spacecraft it would be entirely quiet and it would just be moving slowly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about... Or, sorry, do you have more to say about the movie specifically, or do you want to...
Yeah, I'll wrap this up. Just stuff that... Or is there anything else that stood out to you that...
Not really. I kept thinking about how... the Twin Peaks Season 3 that came out last year, people kept talking about how, like... I don't know, for some reason I kept seeing a lot of comparisons between that and the like final sequence of the movie where he's like in that room or whatever. How like the Red Room is sort of a similar space to the like alien whatever. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about this, but
those similarities between that room and the Red Room.
Just like how he got older, like Coop did, and just I think thematically it's sort of similar, except instead of Cooper becoming a star child, he comes back as Dougie. Anyway, just that was funny. So
also just there's like I don't know if Roman's the right way of saying it, or like Greek statues that are
Greco-Roman, whatever.
Yeah, Greco-Roman statues. Those are both in.
Oh yeah, those are in the Red Room.
Those are in the Red Room, and that's in the Kubrick room. I want to look more into like the aesthetic of that room. That whole sequence was.
Oh, and not to mention
mind blowing.
I mean the fucking episode 8 of season 3 is a huge like tribute to
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, I feel like
I haven't
the nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
I haven't processed. I haven't processed or looked enough into that final sequence where he's just aging. It's just incredible. So the Infinity sequence, or what was it?
Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite.
Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite. That's the most.
Did you not remember that?
No, I remembered it, but seeing it in theater, I was like,
the lights and
because half in my mind I was like, I think that's gonna look corny. I don't know if this is gonna look good.
It looks great.
It looked incredible
because they used some. I read how they did it a long time ago, and I didn't really get it. It's like practical, like. They were like physically moving a camera through
light
this, like,
sequence.
I don't know what it was that they. It was like the size of a house or something.
Oh, is that
this thing they had to build?
The transition between
like the lights.
Yeah.
That part, incredible. Looked much better on the big screen.
Incredible, much like the new movie Incredibles 2.
Yeah. Let's just
Let's transition.
talk about
No,
real.
no.
Let's talk about real movies. So
We're not talking about the Incredibles.
2001, The Incredibles 2.
I'm stonewalling this shit.
Who
out
did
of
it
this.
better?
I'm not talking about
You
it.
So
brought it up.
that sequence, I didn't remember this. There's like a part where some geometrical shapes, like diamonds that are
Oh, yeah.
lighting up. I didn't know that was in the movie.
I remember that.
And
I do remember that scene, and I remember I was in my parents' house in the theater room. I was standing on the couch. I was about to turn off the movie because Steven had fallen asleep, and I was watching it by myself, and I was like, all right, I'm bored. So I was about to turn it off, and that happened, and I was standing on the couch, and I turned around, and I was just like, oh my god. And then I finished it.
I think I don't know what Kubrick's done in his life, but this is gonna sound like such a stupid segment, but I'm gonna go into it.
Hey, my
Stanley Kubrick did acid.
Oh, what kind of drugs you gotta be on to do that?
Oh.
You guys seen Tim and Eric? Dude, what kind of drugs do you think they did watching that when they made the show?
Stanley, what are you
Dude, that guy must have...
smoking to make
He must have been on... Dude, he was probably doing LSD and acid when he did that. Do you think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyways. One thing I noticed about the movie that I didn't even really think critically about, leading up to the events where Hal goes haywire and kills everybody on the space station, the two astronauts, is astronauts the right word? Scientists that are on the
astronauts.
Rotating
On the ship.
spaceship are
Discovery, I think.
they're acting very robotically. They're not acting very, I don't know. There's very little human interaction. They're eating a meal together. They don't say one word to each other. They watch a video sequence of themselves about what actually what their mission is for, which was fine.
Cool, I don't know. I think that's neat.
I thought it was neat
That the first time you see these characters talk, it's them watching themselves on a screen, talking and explaining.
I thought it was interesting. It was okay, this is for the audience to give them background of what's happening, but I also think it made
clever.
a point about they have become AI in a sense. They act more like Hal than they act like humans. Because
I kind of thought that they acted like that because of it's like a panopticon. They're being watched by Hal constantly. It's sort of how you act when you have your boss breathing down your neck or whatever.
Yeah,
They
maybe.
couldn't cut loose. They couldn't
My interpretation is
because
that
they act differently. The one scene where they are when they go into the pod to talk behind Hal's back, they act way different.
Yeah, that's true too. I just took away from it that we progressed. They touched the monolith on what was it? The moon. And we go through the next stage of human evolution, and the next thing they show is two guys looking at iPads, and not talking to each other.
See, that's where I don't. I think I kind of break with the I don't know.
That people say that is
that they're that they. I don't know if they're taking another step in evolution there. It's confusing. I don't know.
And I don't think it all has to be solved. But Hal's talking a lot about how the only occurrences of errors are due to human error.
Yeah.
So I think there's an influence to essentially turn those scientists
into
to not be human. And his parents are wishing him happy birthday, and he doesn't even react.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Hal, move my seat. I don't know. I think a lot of that was more purposeful. But yeah, I agree.
A lot of birthdays in the movie.
I think they were resisting turning into being more robotic.
Yeah.
That's why they went into the space pod and actually talk like human beings.
Interesting.
But that sequence was cool.
So did you want to broaden this out and talk about just in general the experience of rewatching a movie or
so this is what
the value of seeing something for the first time or whatever?
This is what so I think there's something interesting to be said about if you gave a list of your 5 favorite movies, they probably wouldn't be like, it's weird to define what your favorite movies are, because I think my favorite movies are on just, like, what wowed me the most, like, the highest, like, what gave me, like, the most, not even necessarily emotional high, but, like, an exhilaration during the movie. Like, it was such an exciting, thrilling experience. And I think you have that, like, raw experience when you see a movie for the first time. Yeah. And then you like it so much that you want to read more about it. Maybe it was confusing. You want to figure out what happened about it. So you read all these articles. You analyze it. Okay, so you do that initially after the movie came out. And I think there's nothing wrong with doing that. Like, 100% you want to pick apart something that was complex or emotionally interesting.
Yeah.
But
you want to figure out why.
Something's lost. Because... I don't know. I do this with, like, TVs and movies and TV shows I really like. Like, I'll watch, like, YouTube clips of shows that I really like or movies that I really like. And because I want to recreate that first experience that I had seeing it.
Right.
You know?
That was sort of I think one of the disappointing things for me when we saw 2001 again, you know, even though it was great seeing the movie again, I was conscious especially during the, like, Stargate whatever segment, that it just wasn't setting my brain off in the same way as it did the first time. Because I didn't remember, like, every specific visual, but I kind of remembered the progression it went through. I don't know, something about it, I just felt like I was, like, on the same tracks or whatever again. Like, it wasn't...
Really?
Yeah.
It kind of synced up with your first experience.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't... I don't know. It was kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I think a lot of experiencing art like that, especially if it's primarily visual, is just entirely unconscious. Like, you can't set yourself up to have an experience like that and like over-intellectualize it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
It's visceral.
Sort of. And I've also found that, like, typically the longer, there's movies that I've seen a lot of times where there will be times where between watching it 2 times, nothing's added, and it's just like, okay, I just watched the movie again. But then there's times where I watch it again and suddenly I'm, like, seeing all kinds of new stuff. And there's people that'll make claims about things that they'll say, like, oh yeah, you know, every single time I watch it, I discover something new. And I don't think that's necessarily true, but I do think there's some kind of unconscious process where, you know, you'll reach certain milestones in your life or just, like, change your ways of seeing things in a certain way where you go back to something and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is completely different.
Yeah, something pops out.
Yeah, like, I've seen The Shining, like, 4 times, and I feel like the first few times I watched it were pretty much the same, and then, like, the last time I watched it, I was just like, oh, this is totally different. This is, like, a new movie. I don't know.
That's why, I don't know, I just wanted to highlight it might be important to, once you've seen something and you really like it, you know, delve into it for a little while, but maybe like a week or 2, and then leave it alone.
Right, exactly.
Like, come back to it in a few years. I don't know.
I agree. I think there's a big impulse, especially these days, to just, like, the second you've seen a movie, just go online, read every review. You know, read what all the people you've seen talking about this new movie, but you skipped it, go back and see what they said now that you've seen it and all this stuff. And... I mean, I don't know. I never stop myself from doing it anyway.
I've pretty much stopped myself from doing that. Yeah. Because
I think
it doesn't give me, I don't know.
There's definitely a sort of, like, digestion period where you need to just wait and let your own view of the movie form. But, I mean, it's possible. Like, Hereditary, I saw that movie couple weeks ago, I guess, at this point. And I feel like my feelings about that are still evolving. I know you guys haven't seen it, so I don't want to say anything specific. And I'm still, like, reading what other people have to say. And it's one of those frustrating ones because it's a movie where the director has come out and like explained stuff about the movie, which I hate. But I don't know. I've been able to even like sideline some of that stuff. It's so hard to pick that apart, though. You know,
I feel like that even if the director does say what a movie means, it doesn't matter.
It.
Yeah, it's just like.
It helps you see.
I mean,
I think it's helpful if you respect the director.
Well, I just mean that like it's not.
I don't think there's a wrong way to watch a movie.
No,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like you can't. Like for me, I don't know. Like this thing about novelty or watching something for the first time.
I don't think people place too much value on it.
Yeah, I just feel like
to some degree.
I just feel like.
I know that's kind of the opposite of what we were saying.
I mean, like what you were saying that that a movie doesn't. There's always a good movie is an unconscious experience. At least for me, it's always a feeling of like.
Yeah.
Not that I completely understand it. Is that the reason I enjoy it is because I don't understand it, and
there's something that.
There's something that that's just like
flip some switch in your unconscious that you haven't figured out what it is yet.
That's what I mean. Like,
and once you completely figure out a movie, it just
the mystery's gone.
Well, it just becomes like not that great of a movie anymore.
Yeah,
right?
I think
like
that's
just like
that kind of movie, and so that's. I mean, there are certain movies where you do just like figure everything out and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think.
But those movies aren't, like, even valuable. I mean, in terms of, like, rewatch value, it's just, like, if you know, like, the entire emotional purpose of this movie consciously, like, why do you even need to see it again? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But there's movies that, well, I don't know.
I just think there's something to be said about leaving some room for mystery. Like, you don't...
Sure.
I take a lot of enjoyment in not... I don't know, I watched a movie a little while ago. What was that Amazon Prime movie? Convergence?
What is it called? Consistency? No, not
it's
consistency.
Convergence, right?
Convergence?
Because it's a Schrodinger's cat.
It's not called... What is it called?
Oh, this is that Primer-like
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I think I mentioned it on the podcast, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, there's a movie on Amazon Prime right now.
It's really complex. Like, it's very difficult to keep track of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think to really keep track of, like, what would be going on in that movie, you would have to, like, pause and write down what's happening at certain points. And I don't... Maybe that's the intent of the movie. It's supposed to just be a puzzle. But I think there's something to take away with just like a raw experience. Like I think part of the experience is being just completely confused.
Yeah. That's my experience with Primer. Was that the first time I watched it, I didn't understand any of it pretty much, but I loved it. I saw it again. I saw it maybe. I think I've seen it 4 times. Then the next 2 times I watched it, I kind of just watched it because other people wanted to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was still just as confused, but I was like, okay, this is still amazing.
I think I watched that movie like 3 times the first week I saw it. I think I watched it by myself, then I showed my family, then I showed Michael.
We watched it together.
Yeah.
And the actual logic of the movie, like, exists almost outside the movie. Like, it's...
I mean, it's there,
it's so
but you have to, like...
kind of,
But
I feel like this is we need to make a disclaimer here. It sounds like Primer is what we're describing as one of these puzzle movies where you solve it and it doesn't mean anything anymore. But I don't think that's
no. It's not. But there is a part of it that you can solve. Like there is a part of Primer that you can like figure out the science behind why it's happening. And okay, so the 4th time I watched it with my family, and then we were just like, all right. Let's just watch a YouTube video. So there was some YouTube video where someone was like on a whiteboard, like explaining the whole thing, and it didn't. I mean, I watched it.
Anything.
It doesn't.
That's what I mean. It's like figuring out the movie add anything.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked knowing like, all right, I've seen this 4 times. I still have no idea like what the science behind this stuff is.
It's like looking up
I don't know
what Bill Murray whispers to Scarlett Johansson at the end of Lost in Translation.
Yeah, it's...
By the way, what he whispers is completely unintelligible. I saw for years people like, oh, finally, it's been revealed. Audio processes can tell you what Bill Murray says at the end, and it's like you listen to the audio clip and you're like, this doesn't sound like anything.
Isn't it literally lost in translation? Isn't that the point?
Yeah, the point is you're not supposed to know what he says, but
I just think a lot. I don't know. I just like to. I like to make my analysis slowly, and it's over time. Like I'm excited. I'm excited about. Like I think I watched Fire Walk with Me maybe a year ago, and before that I had seen it 2 years before that viewing. I think that was way too close.
Really?
Honestly,
wow.
Like for like really great movies, I want to leave I want to forget what happened. Yeah. Essentially. Because I think, like you said, if you have like milestones, like you've gone through different life experiences, all of that is going to influence your experience of a movie. Yeah. So you're a different person getting to experience the same movie.
I disagree that I wish I could forget it, because I think...
But you don't totally forget it.
If you wait long enough, you'll just have... If you wait long enough, and there's a combination. So, something about you has to have changed. Yeah. That relates to the movie. Because, like, for 2001, I guess, maybe my, like... The reason it didn't impact me that differently, or at least a large portion didn't, is because I guess just something about me hasn't changed significantly from the first time I watched it with regards to that. But like, with The Shining, I feel like what changed for me was just an understanding of, like, cycles of abuse and, like, patriarchy, and even, like, as goofy as it is, that room 237, I feel like the one good idea in the movie that any of the people have is the one about
the Native American
stuff. Yeah. Because that is...
It's in there. Yeah, it's in there.
It actually is in there, as ridiculous as it is. Yeah. So, that made watching it the last time I saw it like I was seeing it with new eyes, even though I remembered the plot beats and everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's the combination.
I was going to say it's, like, totally dependent on each movie, because I remember when I saw Mad Max for the first time, I was like, all right, this is a great movie. I want to see it again. So then I watched it. I watched it like 5 times in like a month. Whoa! It's like 3 of those times was by myself. Every time was in the theater.
What? Yeah. I didn't know you did this.
I watched it so many times. But now, so like that movie, I just could keep watching it. Like it wouldn't go away. And then it went away, and now like I can watch it and I would be like, okay, yeah, this is still a good movie, but like it wouldn't be like a mind-blowing experience. Yeah. But there's other movies like when I watched Nostalgia for the first time. Like that movie, I watched it one time and then I put it away. I couldn't stop thinking about it, but I wouldn't watch it again. Like I just watched it and then I put it away, and then after a long time I watched it again. But it's just like completely dependent on like... Yeah. I don't know. I mean... I don't know.
Mind mode, baby. Yeah. Get in that brain, flip the bits, you'll be able to rewatch any movie and experience it like you just went through the eternal sunshine machine.
I don't know. I think it's really cool how you have like an unconscious framework for movies you can't necessarily recall. Like there's something about the movie that still sticks with you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's just like a really cool experience. Like
movies, go see them.
I'm about to finish. I think there's a lot of merit in like second viewings. Yeah. I don't know, because the first viewing.
I think you said the opposite. Well, no, you didn't.
What do you
mean?
You
said put time between it.
Yeah. But I mean, like the time you view it. Who knows how long from now? I'm about to finish The Sopranos. Well, also. Let me say one thing about.
But go ahead.
Let me say one thing about 2001. What I thought was kind of interesting is that this is kind of a joke, kind of not. But there's a lot of talk about like interplanetary.
Was that the joke?
Us colonizing like different planets and a lot of like idealistic views of how it's going to look like. Oh, Elon Musk is going to build colonies on Mars.
God.
This is going to be so cool. This is what it's going to look like. And then,
so
like,
fucked.
2001, it was just, like, rich people flying in space.
Yeah.
Like, really accomplished, like, it was like, I'm like, this is probably how it's going to look.
that is, yeah.
This is probably how it's going to look.
That is what's going to
like
happen.
Scientists and rich people.
It's going to be the best of the best flying in their airplane with no one else
By
on it.
himself.
Elon Musk, who's the
With,
Amazon
like,
guy.
That's such a good choice
Like-
that the guy at the beginning of 2001 that you see in the spaceship, in both spaceships you see him in, he's totally by himself with just like the wait staff. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it looks like a plane, but there's no one in any of the other seats. Yeah. I don't know, I like that.
And just like the meeting room of, that was like another, I wish I'd listened to more of that conversation, but it's just like a bunch of
So like,
politicians
yeah.
consulting on what this is going to mean.
Yeah.
We need to keep this information secret from the public. So it was just, I mean, the elite is going to get to do all the cool shit. Like, that's
I mean,
essentially-
especially because in Elon Musk's case, it's already been transferred over to the private
Yeah.
sector. It's like,
Yeah.
I just like that the movie didn't even pretend like you got to come on that
It's not
experience.
really
I don't know.
utopian.
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't
just like-
utopian. It was like, this might be how it looks.
It's like
I don't
it's
know.
gonna be politicians, rich
I-
people, and like people who are doing science. That's it.
And I think that was kind of consistent with, I don't know, some of Kubrick's other movies.
The last thing
Eyes
I want
Wide
to
Shut.
say on this, I want to give an example. So, Blade Runner 2049 is on Amazon right now.
it's on Netflix.
HBO.
Oh, no, it's on HBO.
It's
Sorry.
on HBO. Get it right. I watched it in theaters. I really liked it. I threw it on like last Sunday. I was just like, I didn't have anything to do. I was just sitting around, so I put it on the TV. And I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that was my first reaction.
I don't know what it was.
When I was in the theater
There
and I
was-
saw it,
I haven't
did
seen
not-
it, by the way.
did
Okay, I'm
spoil
not
it.
going to spoil anything. There was just like some spark about it the first time I watched it where I just watched it. And like, I had read people criticizing it afterwards and I was like, well, I don't know, I like it, so whatever. But then when I was watching it again, I was just like, oof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
this
know.
is-
I don't know what it was.
I don't want to get into certain details because Michael hasn't seen it. But like
okay.
his wife and stuff, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
man, this
All
is-
of that stuff. It was like really weirdly.
The first time I saw it, it was like in the back of my mind.
I think it was like
this is-
consciously trying to be like, this is how misogynistic society is gonna be or something, maybe, but like it was. I don't think it was accurate. Like I don't think it was like, I don't know. It was just
Something
weird.
about it.
There was just something really off. Like
Anyway, yeah.
there was a bunch of naked women like
we can
everywhere.
We can talk
Yeah.
about
and like I don't know.
Personal
it was
Shopper.
weird.
Oh, do we have? I don't know if I have anything. That's a movie where
Do
I
we have
gotta wait
time?
a while before I
How
watch
long
it
has it
again.
been?
It's been about an hour, but there's stuff we gotta cut, so we can
Okay.
maybe talk a little bit longer. I don't know. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
About Personal Shopper?
Yeah,
That was a great movie.
yeah. I don't know if I don't know.
I
if
mean-
that's another movie where I feel like I'm still working.
Yeah, I'm still
Figure it
processing
out,
it.
so
I don't know if
I don't
I'm
know.
ready to even just talk about it raw on the podcast.
All right,
No.
well, we don't have to.
Let's talk about The Quiet Place.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We all watched A Quiet Place last night.
I mean, I'm. you should talk about it because you had a positive
No,
experience.
No,
Yeah,
y'all say what
so,
you want first.
All right, so A Quiet Place. It's Jim from The Office remaking Steven Spielberg's 2005 War of the Worlds movie. Takes place entirely on farms and in wet basements, and it upholds the idea that men should be protectors of women and we should live in rugged individualist
So
lifestyles.
It was like
The tagline of the movie should have been Jim from The Office
could
wants
not-
to remind you he's a Republican.
I could not believe how like not
I don't
progressive that movie was. Like it was like astounding because like every movie has to. Usually movies these days, you have to have at least one black person. You have to have like some like
tokens weren't there.
like there was nothing like no. Like they didn't even try.
I mean, that's fine, and I think that's good. It might as well just be like that on its face instead of like hiding behind it and giving off the same
I mean,
like
yeah,
ideas.
I guess so.
But I will say
It was like the nuclear family, from like the 1950s.
It's a movie where-
It was so weird.
So you know what? This is actually relevant to the topic too, because I feel like I watched the trailer, got all the feelings I watched from the movie, and then I watched the movie and felt nothing because I'd already felt it for the trailer. Not only that, but the trailer I feel like promises more, because it introduces basically everything that goes wrong in the movie is teased in the trailer. So like you see the woman, like, spoilers for The Quiet Place, I guess, and the trailer. You see, like,
Trailer spoiler.
You see the mother, like, pregnant and, like, about to give birth, and you're sitting there in the theater watching the trailer like, oh shit, like, they can't make any noise in this world, and she's, like, gonna give birth. That's gonna be crazy. And then in the movie, it's like, spoilers, she, like, screams and the baby's born, and it's, like, not really, it doesn't, they don't deal with it.
There was a tense build-up. That part was so...
I don't know. I felt no tension throughout the whole movie.
It was so stupid because you know she was gonna give birth to the child, and neither of them are gonna be hurt. I have different, like we have mind mode. I have different modes.
Yeah.
Different. I put myself in a different, like, mind space for different types of movies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm paying $13 for this movie.
This is a monetary mind space.
I'm in $13 mode. Fuck mind mode.
I'd go to a movie if I'm going and paying for a movie.
You have to enjoy.
And I know, I know, I can tell, like, certain movies, it's gonna be like, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take it at face value, just superficially enjoy that. I didn't analyze anything in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, zero analysis occurred on my part.
There was not much there to analyze.
Yeah, it was...
And you're 100% correct about the, I don't know, the patriarchal...
Family dynamics.
Yeah,
whatever.
the reinforcement of, like, family
My
dynamics.
son will go hunting with me. Daughter, stay behind.
Daughter, stay home. Take care of mother.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty dumb. It was dumb. But...
And the daughter who's, like, who, like, shows the smallest bit of defiance to this is, like, the one who causes all the problems in the movie. Anyway.
A lot of it was stupid. I liked it. I was thrilled. I was, like, jumped in my seat a bunch.
Something didn't click. I couldn't get into $13 mode.
I just thought the concept was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been executed so much better. I wish they had played around with sound in so many cooler ways.
Yeah.
Because all they had was, like, that egg timer.
Yeah, it really could have been... It could have been way cooler. Like,
it was like, you've been messing around with these... What was it, like, day 470?
Uh-huh.
Like, you've been dealing with these monsters for almost
a
a year, and all you wrote on a whiteboard was, what is the answer? And I'm just
that
like...
was weird. I was thinking, like, that looked like a child wrote that.
Jim, not ready to direct. I don't know. Yeah.
It wasn't...
It was a small brain.
It felt like, it felt like a Sci-Fi Channel, like...
Yeah, for a Sci-Fi Channel movie, I got what I wanted out of it. Like, I got I thought the monster looked cool. I thought the concept... I thought, like, the ear design and, like, every time they got a close-up on the ear, like, that was really cool to me.
I guess the monster wasn't that bad.
I thought it was legitimately frightening.
Yeah.
But I went into that movie, I was like, oh, they're gonna have to do all this, like, sound manipulation. Like, they're gonna have to be, like, really stealth-like. And a lot of it was just like, monsters in the room, be quiet.
Yeah, it was
just, they didn't do anything
for the whole, like, concept of the movie that it's built on being that they have to be quiet. It was super inconsistent with the level of noise they could make at any time. And then, like, there's a part later in the movie where they just, like, put a mattress over a hatch in the ground and suddenly they can talk full volume. It's like, why weren't you guys doing this all the time?
Yeah, why didn't they start that, like, a year ago?
I don't want to get into fucking CinemaSins, like, well, in scene 3, they're actually louder than they are when they attract a monster in the following scene.
But if they'd taken something... Go ahead.
They could have done so much more with the visual
language
of the movie,
if they had taken the movie The Road and put the monsters in it, I would have thought that movie was so cool.
The Road was a good movie.
I haven't seen it. Have the book. Haven't read it.
Just
Oprah.
Oh, nice.
Shouts out to Oprah.
It was a thriller that was thrilling. So,
all right.
I want more.
I guess we'll do recommendations and
Oh boy,
what we've been watching lately.
I don't know if I. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I have 3 or 4 episodes of The
I
Sopranos
thought you were going to
left.
say 3 or 4 recommendations. I was like, whoa, buddy.
I am just blown
In
away
love.
by this show.
You love it,
yeah.
I have not. I can't remember the last time I watched an episode of a TV show and I was just like upset.
Yeah.
And it's not even on an It's like a very. I still haven't processed it well. It's like a mature version of upsetting. It digs into things that
I haven't seen it.
it's like really. I don't know if it's made me sad, not like a crying sad, like a really like
just low.
deep. No, not even low. Like a. I still don't know how I want to put it.
Melancholic.
Not it's not like a.
It's an emotion completely unique to the Sopranos.
It's like sad enough to the point where it's like I don't even want to think about that. Like an
Yeah.
episode I don't even want to review. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is really neat. They do. I don't know. I haven't finished the show. There's so much I want to talk about with that, and neither Stanley and Matthew have seen it. I don't know anyone who's seen The Sopranos.
A lot of
So I'm kinda
I don't
bummed out.
understand. I think it's old. I guess.
The
too old.
writer of Mad Men, Matthew Weiner.
He's Weiner, but
Weiner.
Wiener is better.
Weiner sounds better.
Did I say Weiner? Weiner.
It's fine.
Hey,
Hey, Matt Weiner.
Hot Dog Water.
Oh,
He wrote a lot of the episodes
Yeah.
for The Sopranos.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm interested.
that's how I know. Yeah, I feel like I know what you're talking about just because.
Yeah.
Um,
So watch The Sopranos, or you
Yeah.
have more.
You,
Michael
it
loves
covers
this
a
show.
lot of the same things
As Mad Men?
but
Yeah,
they
I've
can
heard-
go
I've heard
so
that.
much further with it because
'cause it's
they're
a
in the
violent-
mob.
Yeah.
oh.
I've also heard. One complaint I've heard about The Sopranos in hindsight is it's just like Mad Men pretty much does the same thing, but they didn't feel like they had to kill somebody in every episode. I'm not
Yeah.
criticizing it, but I'm just saying that's why I understand what you're talking about.
It's just there's more like
Like they had to, they kind of outgrew.
there's a bigger range of
Yeah.
I still haven't.
I see what you're saying.
They can go to different places. Like
Yeah.
there's different scenarios that can be set up. There's
'Cause
also
Don,
just
Don
like
only kills like 5-6
Yeah.
people in the whole.
Don
Mad
only
Men.
brings a gat to the office.
That's a joke.
There's just a lot more
Brings a
experiences,
cat? What?
a lot more experiences and emotions to explore. That's
Yeah.
all.
Stalin, you got anything to recommend?
Come back
Oh.
to me.
I'm going to recommend the sci-fi novel Blind Sight by Peter Watts. You can find it on his website or in a bookstore. It's a quote unquote hard sci-fi, which I guess I don't know what that term means because there's literal vampires in this book. It's about the far future where we're like past the singularity and humans make first contact with aliens. And the encounter with the aliens sort of brings to light all these weird, like, actual real world limitations of, like, what the human brain can do. I don't know. Very interesting novel. Liked it a lot. Brought me into mind mode.
Nice.
Mind mode.
Stalin, if you got
I guess I
nothing-
can do.
So Stalin recommends wrap snacks.
I mean, I do. I definitely recommend those. I've been reading Molloy, Samuel Beckett. It's good. It has no dialogue. It doesn't have paragraphs. It's literally a novel of prose, like 200 pages of this guy
Just
talking.
unbroken.
Unbroken.
Wait,
Completely unbroken.
this guy talking. So it has.
It's a first person narrate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's first person narration, but there's no dialogue. There's no paragraphs. There's no chapters.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's really good. It's like he does this thing where he goes in and out of story very seamlessly. Like he'll just like set up a scene for a story. He'll say the whole story, and then that's partly why the whole prose is unbroken. Is that he'll go through a story, but then he'll like come back to like the narrator himself will like put himself in within that story and then say like I was walking here. But I don't know. It's really cool. It's like I don't know. I couldn't compare it to anything else I've read because I haven't really read anything that experimental like that. But
Sounds
I
cool.
recommend it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Bit of a more sober, serious episode. Maybe you like that more. Hit us up in the comments.
I mean, not the rap snacks part.
Like, subscribe. So we're gonna go eat some more rap snacks. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.